trophies than any other club in the business, yet in the summer era just one Super League title and one Challenge Cup. This is their side. Briscoe is at full-back. Ainscough, Connolly, Hodgson and Carney, O'Neill and Lamb. Up front, O'Connor, Newton, Smith, Cassidy, Ferner and captain Andy Farrell returns to the fray. And the substitutes, Mark Smith, Howard, O'Loughlin and Danny Tickle. The coach is Stuart Raper. Leeds Rhinos, this is their team. Cummins at full-back, Pratt, Carroll, Senior, Calderwood, Ben Walker and Ryan Sheridan. And the forwards, MacDonald, Diskin and Bailey. There is no McDermott, he's out suspended. Adamson, Jones Buchanan and Sinfield. And on the bench, Walker poaching, Danny Ward, who's not 100% fit, that's why he's on the bench. And Rob Burrow returns for them. The coach is Darryl Powell. Well, the Rhinos beat Wigan on home soil in May, 28 points to 22. They want the double over the side that has beaten them convincingly 3 times last year. The Rhinos crowned champions just 3 times, the last incredibly 30 years ago. Big match referee is Russell Smith. Big test of him tonight, big test of these two sides. Leeds, Steve-O, have to stand up and be counted.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Eddie, especially in the forwards. It is a very young pack indeed on the Rhinos outfit. And a big opportunity for Wayne McDonald to stand up and definitely be counted. Normally they bring him off on the bench, but he has a great opportunity tonight.
A high hanging kick-off from Sinfield. Carney misfielded it. It went backwards though. And there is Wayne McDonald. Great chase from him. Helped out by young Ryan Bailey. And Carney felt that.
Sure did. He's a bit dazed as a winger.
Well, you said McDonald had to stand up and be counted. 2 tackles from Marker. There's the third. And he brings Craig Smith down with
that should have been a flop.
Buchanan.
He went right over the top. The Wigan fans are going absolutely balmy.
Here's David Ferner, and the hot mail that I've received this week is that David Ferner this time next year will be a Leeds Rhino. It will be confirmed, I understand, this week. Farrell is back for Wigan. Now it's with Adrian Lamb, who's been outstanding throughout the time that Farrell's been out injured, and that's a very good kick.
Here's a chase up to the task here. They really did get around the fullback Francis Cummins, but it was a very shaky start by Wigan. I must say, Carney was in all sorts of trouble.
It's Leeds in possession. Walker infield to Jamie Jones Buchanan. And he's tackled by Terry Newton and Mick Cassidy. Diskin. Sheridan goes for a 40-20 immediately. And young Sean Briscoe is after it. And Briscoe picks it up just a couple of metres away from his own line. Takes on Walker, takes on Pratt as well. But Pratt gets the tackle in. Brian Carney, the Irish international dummy half. Here is David Hodgson. And Walker round the neck. Finished off by Diskin.
Both defences trying to get that superiority out there. It's going to be rough and tough in the opening 15. Leeds it up for this, don't worry. They've gone through a bit of a bad patch of late. They know how crucial it is to get a win tonight.
Terry O'Connor, that was a good run, and he looked over his shoulder for the second phase of attack, which never came. So he plays the ball to Newton, who finds Lamb. And here is Farrell. And Farrell tonight will demand the ball again, just as he always does. And a lot of people tipping Farrell to have a huge game because of the form of this fellow. Lamb, who got the kick away under pressure from Adamson. Great kick too. Calderwood. Well, he was pushed in the back by Jamie Ainscough, and that's why he fumbled it. And Leeds have the penalty.
No doubt about it. Ainscough certainly just pushed the winger. But I must say that Adrian Lamb was taken out very late after he kicked that ball. And it was Wayne McDonald that went for him.
That's Jamie Ainscough. He's appeared in the last 9, 7 on the wing. Darryl Powell, the coach of the Leeds Rhinos, alongside him Malcolm Reilly. And Darryl Powell telling us on Wednesday night that he was really looking forward to this challenge of the Wigan Warriors. He was our guest on Rugby League World. I trust you were with us. This is Ryan Bailey now. And there is Stuart Raper, the Wigan coach.
Get up quick!
Anxious moments early for both of the bosses. McDonald taking on O'Neill. And And O'Neill does well, bringing the big 6'7" prop forward
You had
to
to go
the
at
ground.
it. You had to go at the big fella. Swinging arm from O'Neill. It is warming up nicely. Thank you very much.
Jamie Jones Buchanan, Diskin looked a little bit forward to Walker. Walker dabs the ball down, looking for the speedster Pratt, and Briscoe does well.
Could it be a scrum or the dropout? Yeah, he's deemed that he went into touch, but good play from Briscoe. It was a neat kick on the blind side.
And Pratt was quick, and Briscoe was even quicker. He's only 19, this young man. He's played in the last 3 for Wigan. And he was actually given the biggest pat on the back by his coach Stuart Raper just yesterday when he announced him at full-back. He said he is very similar to Chris Radlinski when he plays at full-back. That's one heck of a rap.
Sure is.
Carroll, good ball, Calderwood, and Ainscough eventually gets Calderwood to ground.
Quick hands across the three-quarter line, and there's a penalty for interfering. Ainscough yet again.
Well, this was a feature of last night's match early at the Shea between Halifax and Bradford. Robert Connolly was stamping on the early infringements, and Russell Smith is doing exactly the same here. Ainscough penalised.
Well, it was a good tackle on Calderwood. It had to be as well, because he stepped very quickly indeed. Now, it surprised me, Eddie, that they're going for the 2 points. I know it's all about points in the bag, but for my reasoning, I feel that a quick tap there may have caught the Wigan defence. But now it's all calmed down, and Ainscough perhaps feeling a bit lucky that they didn't go for the quick tap. There's quite a few of the Wigan players turned their back on the ball, and the big centre, Tony Carroll, he wanted to get on with it. And obviously the message came down from Darryl Powell, the coach. Let's take the 2.
Well, Ben Walker was back last week for Darryl Powell, and he kicked 3 goals. But Walker at standoff, there he is. He's only had 2 starts in his last 6. Kicks on the way, and the Wigan fans' reaction behind the post will tell you he's missed, and so do the flags of the touch judges. 0-0.
Well, the most important factor, that did go over the in-goal area, so it'll be a restart on the 20-metre.
Release him straight after the tackle.
And Leeds will get the possession back. Should be a long one here from Julian O'Neill.
Stay behind.
Well, they have a daunting run into the Leeds Rhinos. Hull at home, Wakefield and St Helens away. Home against Bradford here, and London, and Wigan away. That ends their weekly rounds. And over the years, this is the way it looks head-to-head. They've fared reasonably well at home against Wigan. 13 wins from 30, just 6 away wins in that time, though. And in Super League, well, as you can see, Wigan with the ascendancy, looking for win number 12 in the Super League era.
Great tackle from Cassidy on the big fella. That's how to bring him down.
Sinfield just dropped the shoulder, went inside Farrell, but he couldn't get away from Terry O'Connor. I don't know whether that was a legal play, the ball, but the referee Russell Smith gives Leeds the benefit of the doubt.
Well, it was quick. That's the most important thing. Darryl Powell has been working on that department.
And Sinfield will hoist the kick again. That's a bit deep, though, and it bounces over the dead ball line, so Wigan can regroup from the 20-metre mark.
Only 10 Leeds and wait.
They've not lost, Wigan, since they faced the Bulls at Valley Parade. Remember Paul Deacon's last-second penalty, giving them the 28-26 win. The previous week they'd lost to Leeds at home. And that's why Leeds here are searching for a Super League double for the first time in 4 years. Good ball from Newton to Cassidy. He was nearly away, but Sinfield stuck to the task. And here is Terry Newton. That cheap yards. Farrell's away from one, couldn't get away from Diskin, but got the ball away to Cassidy. And Bailey was there, fortunately.
Let him up.
Few falling off the would-be's. The man that's carrying the football. Well, I was just about to praise Leeds' start in defence, but they've just gone a bit shaky at the moment. Far too many of them going high, as you can see there. Walker gets him down eventually.
That's David Ferner. He plays the ball to Gary Connolly on the last. Julian O'Neill will hoist the kick. It's another tester here for Mark Calderwood. Obviously the tactic, and Calderwood claims it very well, and Ainscough gets the tackle in.
He's really come on and bundled this fella in that department, taking the high ball.
Credit Carroll as well, who has the ball now because he protected the young winger. He plays the ball to Carroll to Diskin, and here comes Wayne McDonald again. offloads to Senior, and it was a good job for Wigan that Lamb was right on his tail.
Spotted it well, didn't he?
Sheridan to Walker. Good tackle, Connolly. Terrific tackle from Gary Connolly.
You felt that, Walker.
And they pat each other on the back, those two, Walker and Connolly. Mutual admiration there. Sheridan will hoist the midfield bomb. Briscoe has called for it. He wants it, and he claims it too. He took control of that situation, Briscoe, but Diskin got the tackle in on him.
Both sides utilising the high bomb as a tactic, but full credit to the fullback, Briscoe. Not only did he tick it well, he shouted to all his colleagues, get out of the way, it's mine. Plenty of confidence from the young fella.
Offside, Leeds. The referee allowing the advantage. Non-forthcoming. So Leeds penalised and Lamb finds touch over on that far side.
Leeds know that well, there's quite a few for the referee to select. Big fella MacDonald, he was there.
And
but Leeds know, Eddie, that Adrian Lamb has been in scintillating form, and they've got to try to close him down. We haven't seen much from him as yet.
Cassidy down the short side. First penalty for Wigan, the result of this, the second tackle. Now then Newton goes down the short way as well, and that's David Hodgson. They tried to force his head over the line there. Newton gives it some width, and he finds Farrell, who on the bounce gets it to Adrian Lamb, and Adrian Lamb finds Connolly wide on the right. Connolly gives it then to David Furner, and that's well watched by Sheridan and Jamie Jones Buchanan.
Scrambled back well, Leeds there. Sheridan got a knock on the head.
Lamb gets the ball away to Connolly. Good tackle this time by Pete Senior. And Lamb is down and hurt as Carney at the play the ball finds Farrell, who dabs the ball in goal, looking for Newton, and Newton I think has scored.
He sure has.
The referee will give it though to the video referee today, Steve Cross, to make the decision. He just wants to check whether he was onside, Terry Newton, and also the grounding. So the question here is, has Terry Newton, formerly with Leeds, has he scored the first try?
Beautiful kick though from Farrell. He looks onside there. He came out of nowhere, the hooker, but it's a move that they've used quite often this season. He's just over the left shoulder of Pratt there, but got it down well. This will be TRY. Just wants to check. Just stood there for him. Yeah, no problem with that.
Well, Terry Newton, he was in Leeds' cup-winning team of 1999 and in the grand final side of 98 that lost to Wigan. And he loves this place because he got 2 tries here last year. Now, has he got the first try of this match here? Steve Cross, the video referee, is still not 100% convinced.
Well, he wants to see whether the left hand has touched the ball before he then forces his hands onto it again. Now, if that's the case, that'll be a knock-on. But whether he touched it or not, he's most unsure.
The Wigan fans have watched with you at home, and they're celebrating on the terraces, I can tell you.
He's got to try to guess whether the left hand of Newton has actually touched the ball before he touches it now. And if he has, then there'll be no try, but I think he hasn't got a contact with it. It's close. I'll put my house on this one. TRY.
Well, Steve Cross is taking a long, hard look at this. He's obviously happy that Newton's onside. It's now a question of whether, as Steve-O says, whether Newton propelled the ball forward before that touchdown. Well, we're just about ready for the decision. Newton watches as we all do. And he's happy in the end, the try is given. Terry Newton against his former club, and Wigan have the lead.
Brilliant work though by the skipper, Andy Farrell. Knew that the Leeds defence was coming at him. He stood out wide and then he just dinked it through. That was a wonderful kick, and full credit to the hooker as well. Nothing that Francis Cummins could do about that.
This is interesting. Julian O'Neill is taking the goals. Andy Farrell's groin is probably not then 100%. And O'Neill adds the extras from bang in front, and it's 6-0 to the Wigan Warriors.
Well, there's no point in taking the risk, especially when it can just use a little dink through like this. As I mentioned before, they've utilised that so many times this year. It's normally the hooker that gets the try.
First blood to the Wigan Warriors. the Great Britain and England international Terry Newton. Converted by Julian O'Neill. Leeds restart with the high hanging kick-off again from Kevin Sinfield. O'Neill is underneath it. Diskin just waits, and with help from McDonald eventually he's brought to ground. Well, victory for Leeds would put them back in the frame for third place. Fourth would still be acceptable to them. Fifth or sixth means away games and sudden death in the playoffs.
Darryl Powell realises that Leeds have to win all their home games to be safe and get to those semi-finals, the playoffs. So it's a bit nervous out there for the Rhinos.
Well, I've already run through the daunting run-in that the Rhinos have. Hull here, Saints away, Wigan away, Bradford here, London here. Won't be easy.
Tough.
And then the fun really starts with those playoffs leading to the grand final at Old Trafford. Great kick from Adrian Lamb. Pratt not interested, or was he taken out by Carney? Yes, he was.
According to Russell Smith, he certainly did. Carney certainly got near him. Not so much of a push there, but I think Pratt was very lucky. Yeah, maybe just to make contact to him. It didn't look as though Pratt was quite in a happy position to go for that ball. Stuart Raper would be happy with the early try. It was looking to be a real tough encounter. The two forwards are really getting into each other. Seen very little three-quarter players yet.
Wayne McDonald surrounded by three. O'Connor is there. Newton was there. Cassidy was there. Here's Sinfield. Certainly one of the best in the business, Kevin Sinfield.
You could see on that wide shot now Wigan coming very, very early out wide, which forces the Leeds player to go down the middle. So it really well the way that Sinfield was pushed into playing it himself.
Nice chip over the top from Ben Walker here. And Briscoe taking no chances because again Carl Pratt was steaming down. The ball just stopped dead from Walker's kick.
Well, you obviously feel that there's a problem with Carney and the full back, but I must say young Briscoe has handled it extremely well.
He has. England Academy International tour to New Zealand and Australia last year. Briscoe come through the ranks. Darryl Powell. Only the Bradford Bulls have scored more tries than his team this year, but Leeds Rhinos have the 7th best defence. It's not rocket science, that's where Leeds' problems lie. O'Neill drops out to Sinfield, who gives it to Matt Adamson.
Oh, big hit there. Farrell got the shoulder into him, and the big second rower just spun away from it.
Tony Carroll. Kevin Sinfield now for the Rhinos. This is Ryan Sheridan, now Wayne McDonald, but he took that ball standing still, and Wigan have wrapped him up in the shape of Ferner and O'Neill. Quick play the ball, Diskin to Sinfield.
Done about quick, he never played it. Just rolled it back with his fingertips.
Well, that's the norm in Super League 7, Steve-O. Diskin. Sheridan attacking the line.
Ooh, nearly got through.
Ferner and O'Connor.
Good job that Ferner got to it. Ferner's picked up a knock.
He has. Walker pops it up, and McDonald drives it towards the line. This is the last. Leeds are a metre away. It's with Ben Walker who will hoist the kick wide now then. Calderwood against Ainscough. And Tony Carroll was right in the way there, but the ball went backwards, and David Hodgson was there to pick up the pieces for Wigan.
Very fortunate there. Ainscough looked uncomfortable and just popped back there for...
Well, David Ferner is in a bit of strife here. He's receiving treatment on the field, and this would be a blow for Wigan if they lost him. He missed Salford last week injured.
Well, it looks like a knee problem, and they're looking somewhat concerned, but they'll give him a chance to maybe run it out.
And Lamb has gone for a big 40-20, but Carl Pratt has come back and will cut it off. 6-0 Wigan then, and a pretty good start from these two sides, Phil Clark.
Yeah, you'd have to say so. I think the referee was just looking then to see if Lamb had been taken out late by Adamson. I think really that's the respect that the Leeds side is showing to Adrian Lamb. He's the chief playmaker. He might not appear in all the most glamorous attacking raids that Wigan make, but he's the one who directs them around the field, and he's so important to the side. I think Leeds have made an excellent start. It just goes to show how costly conceding a penalty can be. The one they did, Wigan kicked deep and scored from it.
But
One other bit of news from the sidelines is that the reason Andy Farrell isn't kicking is that, as you suspected in the commentary box, that groin injury isn't fully fit yet, and they're certainly not willing to take any risks. It's a long healing process, an injured groin.
Bill, there's a big fight in the back play.
There is. It was Sinfield and Ainscough, I think. Penalty now to Wigan.
And it looks like Furner is leaving the field of play.
Furner's away. Wigan have taken the tap penalty. It's wide to Carney. And Carney fancies himself in a race.
Oh, he was pulled back by Pratt there. Surely the touch judge has seen it.
Oh.
Whoa, steady boys, steady.
Well, Cummings isn't too happy with it, but to be fair to Carney, he tried to pull him back and away from those advertising boards. He could see what was coming.
And not only that, watch this, watch Pratt. He kicks, and then Pratt gets over him, trying to obstruct him.
Well, Francis Cummings took that ball out, didn't he?
It appeared that way.
That should have been a drop out underneath the sticks. Francis Cummings picked the ball up in the field of play and took it over the dead ball line.
I'm in agreement with.
Tickles on for the injured Furner. Walker inside to the captain, Francis Cummings.
Sadly, that was telegraphed.
Tickle's first involvement is to concede a penalty. It's Cummings actually who does really well here. Look at the legs pumping. He's giving the referee the indication that he is.
Well, that's the incident. That really should have been a dropout. Not the best start to Danny Tickle. Won't get many bonus points from his coach Stuart Raper for that.
Cummings just giving the indication to the referee, as I was saying, that he's trying to regain his feet. So a chance here for Leeds now. It's with Sheridan. And now Cummings. Cummings showed it to Matt Adamson and decided to hang on and took the tackle. Diskin. Sinfield. Nothing said about that little fracas between Sinfield and Ainscough on the far side. Diskin again. Sheridan. Oh, and Walker and Connolly went for the interception. Oh, Jamie Jones-Buchanan has lost possession.
Oh, golden opportunity just thrown away there.
But Connolly went for an interception here.
He got left and he was in no man's land. Good job that Julian O'Neill came to the rescue with the tackle. He does take a few risks though, doesn't he? Gary Connolly has done over the years and intercepted many.
Right, well, Bill has got news on David Furner and hopefully no more fights. Bill, tell us a bit more about Andy Farrell.
But just briefly, Andy Farrell, while Julian O'Neill's in such good kicking form which he is at the moment, they're quite happy for him to take that responsibility and just take some of the weight off the shoulders of the man in possession at the moment, Andy Farrell. Meanwhile, David Furner sitting on the Wigan bench. Right knee is the problem, iced up at the moment. They're going to give it a bit of time to see whether it settles down. There is Furner just sitting behind Harvey Howard there.
Indeed so. Terry O'Connor not happy with the challenge from Ryan Bailey. That's Lamb again, but the kick not good this time, and it's straight down Carl Pratt's throat. Julian O'Neill was first to him with Danny Tickle.
He'll be disappointed with that. Adrian Lamb, as mentioned before, has been in scintillating form, and there's a lot of feuds going out on that field. They are really getting into each other, especially Terry Newton and Kevin Sinfield. They're really fired up for this.
There is Sinfield, tackled by Farrell and Cassidy, picked up one-handed off the deck by Adamson. Here now is Carroll, who brushed away from Hodgson. Hodgson came back bravely for a second effort. Craig Smith just plodding down the right-hand touchline there. He's out of this defensive line as the ball is played in, looking for Jamie Jones-Buchanan, and again the young Sean Briscoe to Wigan's rescue.
Good positioning by the youngster as well. It was a good kick from Sheridan. Well, they really are applying the pressure. This will be either the third or fourth time that they've had to drop out from beneath their sticks. And that just shows you the confidence that that man has injected into his side, especially in the kicking game.
It's the second goal line dropout for Wigan. And it surprises me that when we flash the picture of Darryl Powell up on the big screen, he is getting booed by the South Standers. That's not what you want to hear. You would think they would be right behind the team.
Get him low, get him
Or was it a boo for Wigan's time wasting? Well, whatever. We'll see next time his mug appears on the big screen. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt for the moment. But they're certainly under pressure here, the management and the coaching staff at Headingley. There's no doubt about that.
Well, they demand so much, especially the South Stand supporters.
Well, it was a wonderful May, and it's not been quite so wonderful June and July. But here's a chance for Diskin. Cassidy does well. Bailey, on it goes to Sheridan. Now Ben Walker tries to skip away, can't do. Bailey again. The big youngster gets Leeds to within 2 metres of the line. Diskin back to Sheridan. Sheridan to Walker, and that was an important tackle from Lamb.
Was it ever? That'll be a penalty though. He had a second bite at him. And he's calling the captain over. He's had enough as Russell Smith. And rightly so. There's been a lot of interference.
Walker believes he has scored because he's taken a quick tap and he's dived over.
He's got to wait for the whistle.
He's got to wait for the referee, yes.
That one in particular is extremely close to the line as well. Next time you might
thought it was in, but once the referee has given the penalty, he has to blow the whistle. Like that. He's okay now. Now then, will they go for the 2 point? I think this would be a mistake.
They are
really
going to go for the 2 again.
I can't believe that. Well, there are times when you appear to have your opposition on the ropes, and that's the second occasion that they've allowed Wigan to regroup. They were backpedaling the last 3 or 4 minutes, mainly due to the fact that Leeds had 2 sets of 6 to launch at them, and now it's all gone quiet.
4 goals against Wigan in May. And Nigel Ashley-Jones has just come on with some water for Terry O'Connor, and the referee wants a word with him.
Well, it's
because
an
he was
ploy.
Right in front of Ben Walker's vision.
Yeah, it's an old ploy.
He stood directly in front
and Chris
of him.
Radlinski, by the way, is the other Wigan water carrier.
Take back, Terry. Back.
The head trainer, Nigel Ashley-Jones, he's still within the eye shot of Ben Walker, and the referee is waving him away.
Sorry, Ben.
And now Ben Walker has to begin his preparations for this kick again.
Well, they'll try anything, won't they? It didn't work. Well spotted by Russell Smith, but certainly in the way of this fella. Now then, will he succeed?
He will this time. Draws it over the posts magnificently. Leeds are on the board, and from a confidence point of view, I suppose that's important.
I think Stuart Raven will be quite relieved that they went for the 2 rather than trying to force the 6.
Stuart Raper to his secretary, by the looks of things, John Keir, his assistant. Darryl Powell on the walkie-talkie down to the touchline.
I was quite pleased with Leeds' effort against Bradford last week. Said that there was quite a few touches that he was very, very happy with.
Well, they gifted the Bulls 3 tries early, then they had McDermott sent off.
Yep.
And only going to be 1 winner after that. Wayne McDonald. Darryl Powell looking for McDonald to really impress in this match, and he's delighted to have this fella back in the side as well. Matt Adamson wrestled to the ground by Cassidy.
Well, more runs like that, that's what's needed. Now it's a second phase of attack that Leeds have got to try to find, because of the fact that Wigan are coming in very quickly out on the fringe. And they're forcing Leeds to do a lot of one-out football.
Release! Wait, play the ball!
Diskin to Sheridan. And into open space. And Briscoe is there again.
Get him low!
And he will try and run this ball out again past Walker, which he does. Tries to get away from Sinfield also. That's good 20 metres gained by Briscoe. He's standing up well, isn't he?
Sure it is, great work. Well, any thoughts that the Rhinos had about him being a little bit suspect, they've gone out the window straight away.
Here's Adrian Lamb, and it goes wide to Farrell. Good tackling there by Matt Adamson. Plays the ball, does Farrell to Hodgson. Terry O'Connor. Wigan are over halfway. 4 tackles gone though. Newton again, they're going down the short side. Now they'll come in field again with Farrell. Away from one, but can't get away from the next 2. It's the last one.
Well, you'd expect him to be a little bit rusty. He's been out for a while, but he appears to be getting back into the swing of things.
And Lamb just jinks away from Diskin. Very important ankle tap there from Jamie Jones. Oh, Well, was it a penalty? Did he pass that ball off the ground after the tackle was made? The referee says it's the turnover. It's the turnover.
Well, he could have given a penalty. Either way, Wigan have got away with it. But we just saw that glimpse there, the nice step from Adrian Lamb. Dynamic. Got to keep an eye on him, that's for sure.
Tony Carroll grounded by Hodgson and Newton. Sinfield now for Leeds. Inside O'Connor, but he can't get away from Mick Cassidy.
Well, I feel a lot of the Leeds players, they're just trying to play up to the referee and get the penalty.
Sheridan. Walker, great hands, but Francis Cummins couldn't take it in. Tickle has dropped on it for Wigan.
Well, that was a neat little piece of play from Ben Walker.
This is Craig Smith. The Kiwi international gets them over halfway.
Look at that. Neat little flick. He should have taken that, the fullback.
Oh, that was suspect. Newton to O'Connor.
Not suspect. It was forward.
Well, the South Stand are going to shout for forward pass every time now. Newton
They always
Lamb.
do.
Well, they only need a bit of encouragement. They've just been given it. This is Cassidy.
We just couldn't offload.
Hodgson was hunting, and Leeds now concede the penalty, and the referee wants a word with Francis Cummins.
There's little doubt there. Tony Carroll all over Mick Cassidy.
I've had a word with them saying that to me is definitely holding. You'll see when you look at it in the cold light of day, Granite, you're on the same warning.
Well, it's exactly the same message from Russell Smith that Robert Connolly was giving to Bradford and Halifax last night. Is this the start of something? Has Stuart Cummings sent out a message to his top officials to clamp down on this holding down at the play of the ball and penalise?
Yes.
You have that on good authority, do you? It's official then?
Yes.
Steve-O says.
Why do you doubt?
Francis Cummins has been told by Russell Smith. In fact, both teams now are on a warning, and the Leeds captain is having a word with the touch judge about something.
Well, I mentioned earlier, Eddie, that a lot of the Leeds players are just trying to get the penalty rather than getting into the swing of attacking play. And they're not getting their second phase of attack, and they need that. They've got to start spinning in the tackle. Far too much one-out football.
Julian O'Neill then with this penalty, and he's found the mark. He's kicking well just now, O'Neill. 18 goals in wins against Woodness, St Helens and Salford recently, and he's got two important kicks here this evening already. 8-2 to the Warriors.
Come on, let's get it clean.
Danny Ward comes into the fray, and I must say, not 100% fit Danny Ward.
Stuart Raper having a discussion on the side with Mike Gregory, and Willie Poaching has also come on.
I must say, you've got to give Danny Ward a lot of credit. He put his hand up and said, look, put me on the bench, I'll do my best.
Well, I asked Darryl Powell yesterday about this, and he said they wanted to pitch Danny Ward in, and rather than pitch him on, take him off and let him stiffen up with this injury, they'd like to play him off the bench. This is Farrell. That went forward to Ainscough. He tried to get the ball around the man. He had players either side, and he tried to get it wide to Ainscough for Ainscough's speed.
Well, that surprised me.
Look at them all on this inside, on his right-hand side.
I know. We were talking about the second phase, and he knows that he's bombed a golden opportunity. Incidentally, Stuart Raper utilising his skipper in a different role. Let him use as a runner. He's running more like a second rower than a loose forward.
Sinfield, good ball to Cummins, and Cummins is on his way to the line. He'll score here. Francis Cummins, the Leeds captain, responds, and Wigan's captain Andy Farrell is made to pay dear for that forward pass. First tackle from the base of the scrum, Cummins in, and there was simply no Wigan defence. Briscoe tried to cut the angle down, but Cummins had the pace to beat him to the line. Captain's knock.
Just shows what you can do when you get that second line of defence, attack, should I say. Wonderful from Senior. See how he came round on the loop, delayed the run, the pass was superb. He had all the speed. That's all super Super League clubs this past 5 or 6 seasons, they don't have a fullback in attendance when they put the scrum down, and they paid the price then. As soon as Senior offloaded, the Leeds skipper knew it was try time. Well, a big mistake from Andy Farrell allowed that scrum to be formed, and Leeds have hit back big time.
Well, in 1994 he was a raw teenager, but Francis Cummins has developed into one of Leeds Rhinos' best, and he's now 7th on the Leeds all-time try scorers chart. And Ben Walker to add the extras and level matters, which he does. It's 8-all at Headingley.
That was an excellent piece of play. Look how the fullback comes round on the loop, delay, second phase, bang. No one in front. Bang. Great stuff. What a wonderful offload from Keith Senior.
Well, we got a telephone call from Stuart Raper and Maurice Lindsay here at the ground earlier today that Wigan's coach had a puncture and they arrived a little bit late. And at 8 points all, they actually got here. It was less than an hour to go to the kick-off. I just wonder whether that is
he's got to go,
causing them problems, and Cassidy is in the sin bin.
Yep.
Second time he didn't.
Well, they looked at this game completely sewn up early, and then when Farrell made the mistake,
well, Adamson
Leeds
did well
scored.
there, to be fair, didn't he? He certainly got the penalty from the referee, and he's got Wigan down to 12 men for 10 minutes.
Well, most of the Leeds players are doing that, and it's certainly got this guy off for 10 minutes. And I nearly got the ball on my head then.
Poaching, driving it in. O'Neill trying to wrestle him to the ground with Danny Tickle.
Tough times for Wigan now. The defence has to be solid. They've got the wind up now of Leeds.
This is Ryan Bailey. Tackle is complete. Disc in the dummy half. Sheridan. Oh, Danny Ward got in his way then. Walker turns the ball to Poaching. Good tackle though down by O'Neill. Finished off by Craig Smith. Diskin. Danny Ward will drive it in. Terrific run from young Danny Ward.
Great effort.
Diskin will pinch one. Matt Diskin with the latest Leeds try. That's brought the South Stand to life. And Diskin, only 20 years of age, 2 tries in the last home game against Salford, and he's come up with a very important 4-pointer here.
Good work from the hooker, but it was Ward that did all the hard work. Look at that, striving through. He knows he's not 100% fit. Oh, good work from the hooker. There we are, Cassidy, that gets the sin bin. And then he puts him down at 12. And Diskin and Ward has done the deed. They've got the tails up of the Rhinos. And Wigan, who started out, and it looked as though they were in full control. And it's all gone wrong since that man tried that round-the-man pass that created the forward pass and then the scrum. And from there on in, Leeds have run riot.
And Walker doesn't make a mistake from there. It's 14-8 to the Rhinos. Wigan have held the lead for a long, long time. It was level not long ago, and for the first time, Stuart Raper's men find themselves behind in the match, and with 12 men as well. Well, 12 men. A puncture on the bus on the way here, Phil. It's not going according to the Wigan plan.
No, I think they've just had the second puncture, haven't they, in this game? We saw a player sent to the sin bin yesterday at about exactly the same time. This time it's been Mick Cassidy who's gone off. Leeds have made a pretty good start, and they did build pressure on the Wigan half, and the Wigan line rather, forcing 2 of those goal line dropouts. Sooner or later in a game of rugby league, you tend to turn that pressure into points, and they're starting to do that. Interesting that 2 of the 3 tries we've seen scored in the first half have been when a side has conceded a penalty inside their opponent's half. The deep kick and then the advantage and the roll on that the side gets from that, they've converted in try. Leeds pretty happy at this stage.
Yes, they will be, with a 6-point advantage. And again, Bailey was looking for the penalty. Poaching, and Poaching's added something, and he's offloaded there to Diskin. He's added a bit of venom up front as Willie Poaching.
Not only that, he's one of the few that's twitching in the tackle and then offloading. They were missing that early, but not now.
Walker dabs the ball through, an invitation for Senior to chase it. Oh,
Great work by
wonderful work
Carney.
from Carney there.
Well, it looked for all the world as though Carney was so leaden-footed, but he took the gamble. Pratt was swinging the leg.
Risky business from Connolly there to Craig Smith. A short pass, and he was surrounded by blue and amber jerseys.
Well, I think the Warriors are a bit stunned, Eddie. Look a little bit lost out there.
Ainscough, he gets away from two. That's a good relieving run from Ainscough.
He certainly needed something. Good work from Bailey. He's impressed me, this youngster.
Lamb, and Lamb. Another good tackle from the Leeds defence. Matt Adamson this time, and he
He's gotta
concedes the
go.
penalty, and he
He's
must
gotta
be in
go.
the bin as well, and he is.
And he knew it. They were both on a warning. Cassidy first. Adamson joins him. Well, let's hope that the referees will be consistent with this right the way through to the grand final. As long as they're consistent, the players will begin to realise.
Well, no one can have any complaints, players, coaches, fans, if the referees, as you say, it's a huge word, consistent. And the second ball on the field. O'Connor and Sinfield tangling. Craig Smith for Wigan. Oh, good run. Terry Newton. Oh, he's gone the wrong way. Turns 360 degrees, finds Farrell. He offloads to O'Neill, and Farrell is underneath all of that. There's a right schmozzle there. Newton charging forward is O'Connor, and he's lost the ball. It's a penalty. It's a penalty for Wigan. Quick tap.
He's gone in, he hasn't blown the whistle, just as Ben Walker did a few minutes ago. It'll have to come back. Connolly thought he was over.
There's a mark here. We're not giving it.
Well, it looked like O'Connor had dropped the ball. Now Wigan have a golden opportunity with Farrell and with Craig Smith. And he's away from Sinfield. He's driving it forward again.
What strength from this fella.
He's had his critics this year, Craig Smith. He's answering a few tonight. Newton to Lamb. And Lamb...
Well, he was looking for the second phase, and there was none there. He wanted to
Sinfield with the tackle.
He just wanted to drop the short pass.
Newton wide to Ainscough, and he's in.
Yeah.
Referee wants to check. What's he checking this time?
At some point, whether it bobbled after the grounding or before.
Just wants to check the grounding from Ainscough, and Ainscough doesn't look at all concerned.
No, he got it down okay. Nothing wrong with that. Leeds fans beneath us in the south stand think that he's lost it. No way. His left hand has full control of that. This will be TRY. What's the left hand? It does not leave the ball at all. The right one does. That's try time. Neat work. Missed the man out. And he squeezed into the corner.
Well, Ainscough got the Sky Sports Man of the Match award in the derby against St Helens, and he's just given Wigan a huge lifeline, but the South Stand supporters don't seem to like that decision from video referee Steve Cross.
Now then, was that the high one?
It was.
Walker went underneath, I felt. Maybe it was poaching. And from here, Newton did well. See how he just missed out. David Hodgson. This is good work from the hooker. Calderwood just too late to react. Ainscough, he was in.
Jamie Ainscough in good form for Wigan at the moment. And Julian O'Neill now with the most difficult of conversion attempts. This is his big test tonight. Previous couple of kicks have been relatively easy. This is anything but that. He's tight to the touchline on that far side. That's the angle he's got. Well, both coaches, Stuart Raper in the foreground, behind him Darryl Powell, are at pitch side. O'Neill with the kick, and he's kicked it. That's a sensational kick from Julian O'Neill. It's level again at Headingley, 14 apiece.
Beautiful work from the hooker. You see Hodgson, they hesitate, thinking that he's going to get it, but the ball goes right across the face, and Calderwood was caught out.
Well, the two coaches at ground level, and of course their teams both down to 12 men at the moment, and the scores 14 apiece. And last few seconds of this first half, Tickle takes that tackle. Carney, O'Connor will drive it in again. Took Diskin back a few metres. Gets to his feet, plays the ball to Newton. Here is Farrell. This will probably be the last play of this first half. And so it is. There's the half-time siren. And Stuart Raper coming across because Wigan are occupying the dressing rooms on the far side of the ground, the TV gantry side.